This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and get the latest from Alpena Community College with Don McMaster. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is local author Janet Young, and we're here to talk about a book she wrote about Presqu'île. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm really excited to hear about how you got started writing your book, because just leaping through the pages is pretty exciting, looking at the photos you brought. So how did you start writing a book about Presqu'île?
Well, I actually started decades and decades ago. I used to always go to libraries and compulsively go through the old books and look in the index looking for anything on Presqu'île, Lake Huron. I'd often find stuff on Presqu'île, Lake Erie, Presqu'île, Lake Superior, Presqu'île, Maine, but nothing on Presqu'île, Lake Huron. So whenever I would find a little parcel of information, I would start a folder. And then I got really serious about it a few years ago, and I took the census of 1850 to find out who was living at the harbor, and then I did the genealogy coming down,
Wow.
looking for descendants. And luckily on Ancestry.com I could connect with people. For example, I found a family living in Arkansas that was related to the first lighthouse keeper in 1840 at Presqu'île, and they had letters written by Henry Wolseley. So it was just amazing. It was just digging up stuff. I've got journals from 1820, and a lot of this stuff was stored, like, for example, one journal was in Arizona, one was in California, but just connecting. So it was my goal to get everything under one cover and to tell kind of the personal story, not just the statistics. And actually, now I've got 3 volumes. So from going years ago when I couldn't find anything, now I've got tons of stuff that's all documented and backed up with historical research on top of it.
And you brought one of the journals with you today.
This actually is a counter ledger from
Okay.
the harbor. Presqu'île Harbor was a wooding station starting in 1835, where the steamboats would come in to buy wood for these huge, huge steamers that were traveling the Great Lakes, which made Presqu'île really, really important in history. But the counter ledger, for example, this one is from 1869.
Can you hold it up so our audience can see?
The inside?
The inside, if you
Ooh,
can.
I don't know if you can read the...
Probably won't be able to read it, but
Yeah,
give them an
but you
idea.
can, an idea. So this one is dated November 28th, 1869. And this would tell me that on this date, the wood to the Northern Transportation Company, this steamer came in and bought 18 cords of wood. So I can find out all the vessels that were there, who was there. Then I have the lighthouse records. I can look up and see what the weather was like on that date. And if any of the letters I have pertain to this too, then I can develop a story all based on from the people and their words and everything that was actually there.
Now, what time frame does the book cover?
From the 1600s to about 1920 for volume 1, and then it's extended in the other 2 volumes.
Okay, now you brought 3 photographs with you today. And let's start with
Yes.
the first one here. And that one was actually painted by someone you know very well.
Yes, my younger brother, Bob Young, he always calls me his big sister, but he was kind enough to do lots of illustrations and watercolors for the book. As a matter of fact, he even did the sketch for the back of the book. Yeah, I'm thrilled to have his pictures in there.
And then the cover is the next one. Tell me about the cover.
The cover is a photograph taken by my niece, Sarah Elizabeth Mashinsky, who took the picture from the window of the lighthouse, the front light, or the new lighthouse built in 1870. So the cover is the new lighthouse, and then the back cover is the 1840 lighthouse.
Okay, and then the last picture is pretty special.
Yes, it is. When I was writing, one of the paragraphs I was writing was talking about the fur traders that were there and the missionaries that were passing by and the Native Americans. So when I saw this Remington with all 3 in one canoe, I knew it was perfect perfect for the book. But it was in a private collection in New York. So I had to find the Bridgman Company negotiates with the artist and people like me that want the picture. So I was able to buy the rights to publish it in this book. So I've got Frederick Remington and Bob Young in the same book,
Yay.
among other artists too.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
And now, so how long? You said decades. So when you actually sat down and started compiling the book, how much time did that take?
I have no idea,
Okay.
actually, because life, you know, enters
sure.
in, and I was working, then I retired, and different events in life slowed me down for a while.
Okay, that happens.
But it does. So I just say it's been a lifelong pursuit.
Now you have a signing coming up.
I do on July 22nd, which is a Wednesday at the Alpena County Library. I'll make a presentation and then a book signing to follow at 6:30 p.m.
And where can we purchase the books?
You can buy them on Amazon, or you can get them at the Presqu'île Lighthouses,
Okay.
and also at Young's Art Van and Young's Appliance,
Okay.
naturally, Blue Phoenix Bookstore, the Alpena County Library, the Thunder Bay Noah Sanctuary
Okay.
is carrying them, and several places in Rogers City also have them.
Okay, so they're
So,
easy to
lots.
find. And
I hope so.
so now, what is the next volume 2 going to be about?
It's still volume 2. Will continue with Presqu'île Harbor, and then I've done extensive research on Thompson's Harbor and False Presqu'île, which would be Belle Pines. Most
Okay.
people think of that, and the south end of Grand Lake in the early 1800s when all the lumbering was going on, and also the shipwrecks. Lots on the shipwrecks from the personal side of the wrecks.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited about that too. Real
Okay.
excited.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations and best wishes
Oh,
on your book. And we look
thank
forward
you.
to seeing volume 2 come out. Give me a call so you can come back on and talk
I'd be
about it.
delighted. Thank you.
I'll be right back with some information from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last guest today is Stephanie Gandula from Thunder Bay National Marine Sanctuary. Hi, Steph.
Hello, Nancy.
I want to be real quick, mention thank you and everyone at the Center for the wonderful 4th of July celebration. Unbelievable.
It
How
was
many
fun.
people do you think were there?
Thousands and thousands of people. I was just actually reviewing some of the images from the festival and the Carver boat race and the helicopter rides. People lining the riverbank, as you know, it was crazy. So, I mean, we estimate about 10,000 people come to the festival.
Yay, so thank you for all that hard work.
Yes, it's
Now we
fun.
want to get into your summer series because there's way too much to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. So we are offering a summer activity series this summer, and it's pretty much every single day there will be some sort of activity offered. Now, of course, these activities are free. They're also geared towards all ages. So when you come to the sanctuary at the designated time and start with the project, you can spend anywhere from 5 minutes talking to this member who is delivering the series, or you can spend an hour with them.
Okay.
So that's what's really cool about it. And you can, preschoolers up to senior citizens can come enjoy this
Yay.
activity because they will tailor it to whomever. And the variety of the series is also what's really neat about this. So the people who are putting these on, I will tell you, are our AmeriCorps members. Travis Wall, he's a marine biologist, studied in Hawaii, and then Megan Goss, and she is another AmeriCorps service member stationed at the Marine Sanctuary. She's with the Northeast Michigan Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, and so they have their very specific projects that they focus on their backgrounds and also what they're interested in themselves, and they're sharing that with the public. And so what Travis will be focusing on is his work in the Hawaiian Islands and in the North and South Pacific. And so I brought some of the stuff that he's going to be talking about.
Yes.
And so this sounds really exciting, but you could come and watch him do a live dissection of an albatross's stomach contents.
Okay.
And that's what this is right here. They call it a bolus. And this is something that scientists have been studying for some time because it's obviously an indicator of what the albatross have been eating. And what you'll find in there, sadly, is a number of plastic pieces.
Lots of plastic.
Right, and so these albatross, they traverse the oceans looking for food for their chicks. And they often find food in what they call the North Pacific Garbage Patch. And then they bring that food back to the chicks, and then the chicks ingest the plastic, and it often causes death for the chicks.
And they are endangered.
And they are, you're absolutely right. The albatross is an endangered bird species, big, beautiful seabird. And scientists have been tagging these birds and have a really good understanding of where this plastic is coming from, and how prevalent it is in the bird's diet. And I mean, you can recognize a lot of these pieces are things that we use. You know, they're familiar to us. They're things that we use on a daily basis. This is the contents of a sample that had washed up on a beach in Curry Atoll, which is in the North Pacific as well. So, I mean, bottle caps, it looks like, from, you know, drink containers. And
syringes, maybe.
Yeah, all sorts of different things that we use in our daily lives, that studying these albatross and these critters in the Pacific can really give us an idea of how far these things travel.
Yes.
Plastics that we use here in the Great Lakes do make their way around the world. So it's just something to be more conscious of our own plastic use on a daily basis. What Travis will be doing with folks is dissecting the bolus, the stomach contents, and then he also has a program called the Winged Ambassadors. And the students, the visitors, can go through the program and learn all about the albatross and studying the plastic pollution.
Okay.
So that's just one.
Okay. Okay.
And then another scheduled series we have is the Science on a Sphere. There's going to be specific programs set throughout every day where you can come and see focused Science on a Sphere programs. I don't know if folks are familiar with the Science on a Sphere. We have the one of just 100 in the whole world is right at the Marine Sanctuary, NOAA's Science on a Sphere. Super cool, 6-foot diameter carbon fiber globe where we project scientific data sets to demonstrate different lessons, different features of the planet. You can come and study geology, astronomy, all sorts of different things. So that's a great learning tool as well. So that's another part of the summer activity series.
Okay.
And then Megan with Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative, she's going to be focusing hers on, part of hers are all about reduce, reuse, and recycle. And so good ideas on how to reuse things. And one of those, which is really fun for visitors to try, which doesn't take very long, is reusing bottles.
Yes.
So here we have plastic bottles to create a sub-irrigated planter. And that's what we have here. And this guy normally pops out quite simply. There it is. And it uses less water, so it conserves water, because that's a piece of fabric there on the bottom.
I see.
And it just uses as much water as it needs, rather than if we were watering it from the top, you might overwater it. And so it's like a wick that feeds the water up to the plant. And what she's planting and teaching the visitors to plant are native species. So you start it in your windowsill, and then you can then plant it in your garden. And it's you know, sort of just getting more native species out into the environment.
That happens to be a sky blue aster.
I know, isn't that lovely?
Asters are so beautiful.
Yes, I took this from the windowsill at my office. So just some neat hands-on activities that we're offering at the sanctuary all summer long. And you can find the specific times. There's too many to list now because of all the different activities and all the different times. We planned it that way so to make it easy for planning. If you know, some are in the morning, some are in the afternoon. So go to our calendar on our webpage, which is thunderbay.noaa.gov. Visit that calendar and you'll see all the programs listed.
Okay. Sounds wonderful. And if you have visitors in town, just bring them on in, see the exhibits that you have there, visit the sanctuary store. Lots of fun stuff going on. How are things up on the roof?
Great. We've had, you know, we're starting to hold our meetings up there because it's so pleasant to be up there this time of year. People are scheduling receptions up on the roof deck. It's a great spot to see activity at Maritime Fest. It was a popular spot to watch the cardboard boat race. We had our paddle race the day before Maritime Fest on July 3rd.
Big success.
The microbrew tasting, that was full of folks having lots of fun. So the roof deck, if you haven't seen it, come by and check it out. It's fun.
Okay, and always a need for volunteers too. So if you're interested in being a volunteer, stop by, say hi.
Absolutely.
And get signed up and start helping out and learning. And Lady Michigan tours every day.
Every day, 3 cruises a day right now, 10, 1, and 4, and those fill up fast, and people are really enjoying it. What's neat to see with the Lady Michigan is how many repeat people I mean, it's
know.
not just something you do once. It's, people bring their families back. Sometimes people just come, to enjoy a trip out on the water again.
And even if you didn't have shipwrecks to look at, it's so much fun to be on the boat. But the shipwrecks are phenomenal and so easy to see.
Yes, very true.
Thank you very much for being here. Look forward to talking to you next month.
Thanks, Nancy.
Please stay tuned for Don McMasters following these messages.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. My name's Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have with me as my guest today Dawn Stone, director of the TACT grant at ACC.
Good morning.
And Brian Dawson, UAS instructor. And we're here to talk about a really neat project that ACC has begun under Dawn's leadership, and culminating, or beginning, I should say, in a seminar to be held at the college August 7th and 8th. Dawn, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, about a year ago, just under a year ago, we were awarded a TACT grant, a Round 4 TACT grant. That stands for Trade Adjustment Assistance Community College Career Training Grant. And the Department of Labor authorized us to be able to build out new and innovative curriculum for our community. And as if you've read the papers or seen the news or anything, the unmanned aerial system industry is growing like crazy. We're positioning ourselves to be able to provide instruction on flying, on rules and regulations, and that kind of thing when it comes to using unmanned aerial vehicles, unmanned aerial systems, commonly known as drones.
Wonderful. Sounds very interesting and very opportunistic. Brian, you are the content expert, curriculum developer. Tell us a little bit about this course and how you've put it together.
Right. Again, coming up in August 7th and 8th, we're going to have a 2-day seminar, and this is the first time as an instructor for myself, and Scott Day will also be working with me on this. It's a 2-day seminar, like you mentioned, on drones. Everyone knows the word drone, but it's unmanned aerial systems and unmanned aerial vehicles. Again, it's an emerging technology, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Our 2-day seminar, our first day, we're going to focus with our students as an academic day, and we'll also have some guest speakers. During the academic portion, we're going to touch a little bit on the history of drones. Of course, we're going to spend some time on the regulations on drones, both federal and some of the state and local laws affecting drones. Then we're going to get into types of drones and uses and some of the technologies and the enabling technologies that have made drones become so popular. We know that over the past, the military has used a lot of them, but now we're seeing more and more commercial and use. So we're going to get into all of those subject areas on the academic day. Then on day 2, it's going to be a lot of fun. Our students are actually going to have an opportunity hands-on inside the gym at Alpena Community College to do some flight of some small drones. So they're going to learn some hands-on, develop the ability to hover and move and understand some basic aerodynamics. We're also going to demonstrate a more sophisticated drone and show them how it works with data feeds, with autonomous flight using different kinds of sensors. So they'll be able to see some more sophisticated systems and learn. I know some of our students that have enrolled for the course, we've got a wide variety, but some of them have already been flying and are interested in the regulation part.
Right.
We have some people from the public service sector, some fire and police type of people that are interested in coming in and learning how that's going to affect their future and operations, because that's kind of an emerging area. So it'll be great for them to see. We have some guests coming from downstate, Detroit Aircraft Company, and CEO John Reminelli will be there and showing off some of his equipment and talking how Detroit's using it with the fire department, and promises to be lots of fun, very educational, hands-on, and we hope to develop from this first weekend course. Scott and I are pretty excited about putting this on.
Yeah, we're excited about it too. And Dawn, I had the privilege of watching a demo in our EPTC parking lot not a week ago, and could you describe for the people who weren't there, what happened?
Well, I have to tell you, it's a pretty cool thing to be able to come into work and say you got to watch you know, and highly qualified people fly a drone in your parking lot and look over, you know, the college campus. It was so exciting. We do have a drone. What's the name? What's it called?
That's DJI. It's a Phantom 3, which is a kind of it's a high-end entry model drone that a lot of, you know, people off the street, if they wanted to get serious into the hobbyist end of it, could actually go out and obtain one of those. So.
But the technology behind it is just fantastic. I mean, you know, Brian and Scott were able to you know, fly the drone up near our new windmill on campus, and they were able to get aerial pictures of campus. It's just a very exciting and neat experience to see something so, you know, out of the norm. And I know that it's becoming much more normal, but to see something out of the norm, you know, just be able to launch and see pictures of the whole campus, it's a pretty good day when you get to go to work and do that. It was very cool.
That was a good day. The data feed, the camera and the resolution is so crisp, it's amazing. And the data feed to a laptop, which Brian, you were running, was remarkable.
Exactly, yeah. It just comes in ultimately into an iPad and an app like so many other things and that we deal with today. So the drone technology is just merged right into it. So
you had described, this is I guess a good segue in my mind, to some of the civilian applications. What sectors are most interested and have application for drone usage now?
It's really spreading anywhere from the public safety sector. Fire departments are using it now to look for heat during fires, and they can direct, their fire chief can direct where they want to put their efforts and the danger areas for their firemen. Agricultural use is becoming widespread. In the surveying of crops, they can, with the new sensors, they can check for moisture levels, different kinds of effects that are going on with the crops, and it allows them to interact with their applicators to more effectively use their pesticides and herbicides, and also for seeding. So that's just another area. Public safety and the security, police use them for search and rescue now. Utilities, of course, using them for inspecting power lines is becoming a big item for many utility companies. So it's just growing. There's more and more.
Mentioning the utility sector, I mean, our Electrical Power Technology Center is really an aggregation of employer and community and ACC interest and expertise that serves the utility sector. And I think there's some opportunity for the college to become partner with utility companies in building out this technology. So any last things you want to add or share with people who might want to come or might not be able to come to this first session?
Absolutely. I am on campus at Alpena Community College. You're welcome to stop by. I'm in the Besser Tech Center. Just ask for me. Again, my name is Dawn Stone, and we'll see if we can fit you into this class, and if not, this will not be the last class that we run. So please fill up our waiting list so that the next time we run the class, we will be ready to go.
Well, thank you both for sharing this this news and setting it up and making it happen. We're excited about it, and we appreciate your efforts. And thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take care and have a great week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.